Hello, and good morning to you all. My name is Trent Sammons, and I am a videographer and a photographic journalist from Zanesville, Ohio. I've had not only the honor, but the privilege to sit down and have a 15-minute interview with the one and only Kenneth J. David. Kenneth J. David is a man of many qualities. He is a man of extensive valor and pride for his country. He is, however, not a man of cowardice, but rather a man of extensive bravery. See, on one day in Vietnam in 1970, he sacrificed not only his safety, but his sanctity for the greater good of his comrades in battle. So, we came here today just to ask you a few questions, just a little interview. I was reading a bit about your DAV magazine article, and I thought it was really fascinating what you did at your fire base. So if you would just answer a few questions. What was your childhood like, growing up and things like that?
I was brought up by mom and dad with good family values that I carried over in the military.
Beautiful. So if I may ask, who was your support system growing up? Like, did you have a mentor or somebody to look for guidance?
Growing up as a child, there was a bunch of us kids in the neighborhood, and we just hung all together and supported each other. And back in my time, in the 50s and 60s, it was a good way of life, you know, not the way it is today.
I always love 50s jazz. I think it's beautiful. So whenever you entered service in '69, I understand it was a very different time back then. What did you guys do to boost your morale in service?
It kept us isolated. We didn't have the technology they have today. Payphone, there was always 50 people in line to get to the payphone. Writing letters, and what was going on in the real world, we were just isolated. Just 6 months of heavy training.
Where did you get basic training at?
I did my basic training in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which they no longer train basic training there.
What was your first instinct when you were faced with the difficulties of a battle?
To protect my foxhole buddies around me. I figured if I could do protection to them, they do protection to me.
You have to get tough times sense of unity game done.
Yes, there was 18 of us. We were always on patrol for about 4 to 5 days. Everything we had for 5 days was on our back. There was no other GIs around us.
So how was this experience altered your life?
I came back to hospital. Valley Forge, yeah. And they never, I'm talking about the doctors, they never deprogrammed us. Out of the hospital, they threw me back in active duty for my last 11 months. And things have changed. The Vietnam vets have really stepped forward to make changes, to make them make changes for the younger veterans coming home today.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's very unjust how they've treated you guys coming back
Guys
home.
that weren't wounded and came through California, it was terrible.
It wasn't like how they were expecting back in World War II and World War I,
No.
where they were seen as heroes.
No.
I understand how that kind of made you guys feel coming home.
Well, that was because of the news media.
Right. Now, if I may ask, what is some wisdom other generations can use from your experiences?
I have a strong feeling that I tell the great kids that I talk to, you take I can't and no out of your vocabulary. Because as long as you believe in yourself, you live by the values of life.
So, during your time in service, who was your inspiration? Like, did you have a general you guys looked up to or something?
We looked up to our sergeant, E6. Nickname was Greg. He kept us in line. My first lieutenant went to go to him with the questions.
Why did it take, if you don't mind me asking, sir, I just thought this was a very interesting fact. Why did it take from 1970 all the way to January of 2025 to receive the medal?
Being that's a political question, I can't answer it. But 17 years ago, service officer got a hold of my file and said, this is wrong. So we pursued it, did paperwork. It took 15 years to go up to independent. And 2 years he sent out President Joe's desk. And before Joe got out, he paid his desk off. And about January 3rd of 2025. There's a lot more political involved before. Depending on all the committees and subcommittees, they all approved everything. A lot of them go through Congress, where a senator or congressman adds it, makes up a bill, adds it to like a transportation bill that he knows will get passed. And when they pass the transportation bill, the upgrade for the individual gets passed too. The other 6 that were with me on January 3rd at the White House, that's how theirs was done. Congress had a vote on it. Pentagon did mine. So it took 15 years.
It's terrible. Now, I understand you weren't able to answer that question, but if I may ask, do you think it was fair of the U.S. government to do this?
I was happy to be home. I was happy with the Distinguished Service Cross, which is one below the Medal of Honor. For reasons unknown, the people that would advocate for me was my lieutenant, who was deceased, my captain, who was deceased, and it just fell through the cracks.
What was your experience reintegrating into peacetime society after your service?
In my case, it was hard. 6 months of training, 5 months in NOM, 5 months in the hospital, thrown right back into society, and you still have your battle mind together. And it was hard. And then when I got out of the service 11 months later, it was hard to cope with society again. My high school sweetheart, which was my fiance, she was still 19-year-old in her mind, and I was like a 40-year-old man. War changes people. If you talk to a lot of the old vets, you'll find out security, no groups, stay away from groups. Fireworks is a no-no, because I played with dynamite C4, because we always had to blow an LZ for a helicopter to come in and get our wounded out. Because when you're living in triple canopy jungle, like if you look out in a field, you see brush 6 feet, 8 feet high. That's single layer. You got another layer, then you got a higher level. So.
And that reminds me, I was reading up on you a little bit. What was it like in the 101st Airborne Division whenever you were in Vietnam?
Just like Easy Company in World War II, the brotherhood is strong because the training makes it that way. They break you mentally, then they build you up. And they taught us not to hesitate. If you hesitated, you were dead. Plain and simple. So the ones that slept in training classes were the ones that did not come home. And that's what I tell these kids in grade school. Your teachers and mentors are here to teach. You're here to learn. Because if you don't learn in the way the society is now, you won't make it in the future. You just won't make it. That's what's so great about this program down here. It takes you young ones, just give you an idea about the politics and everything, and working together, which is the main thing, which that is your brotherhood here at Boise State. You know, our brotherhood was in the jungle, and we would do anything for our brother. You know, we would die for our brother, because you're just there to protect everybody else, and everybody else was there to protect you, and that's the way life goes.
Speaking of Buckeye Boys State, I understand that you were touring the campus yesterday and today.
Yes.
What was it? What was your experience like?
It's not the first college I've been to, and it's great. It's you know, everybody's here to learn to make themselves a better person. And what you're doing, as far as doing this, is going to make you a better person. To be in a civilian job. The one boy my son graduated with was similar, and he's now assistant editor at a newspaper. And everything is meant for a reason, so learn what you can learn. They can't take that away.
Right.
Yet again, I am grateful that I have had this opportunity to share what a lifetime of events for Kenneth J. David. I am proud of his sacrifices for our country and that he can make it better for all of us. Thank you. Good night.